So now we'll go into the more. I'm a scientist by nature, so having to talk a lot about what I feel I meet, it's nice to have some data. And so again, there was 2 surveys, one 6 years ago and this one from this year, and they look almost identical. So I didn't want to bore you going through everything because it's not a science class. We're not. Overwhelmingly, every student who enroll here has 20 answers, and 17% say, I want to be part of a community with a focus on gaming. There's also some who want to work with gaming and game designers and something, but it's the community that they really focus on when they choose esports. We also asked them what their interests were, and obviously esports and gaming, they fill out a lot. Well, and that makes sense because that's why they are. I guess that's why they're here. But what other things have they? Yeah. So there's also a lot of these things: the programming, coding, and IT parts of this. There's quite a lot. 7 out of 20 who wants to work with programming, coding or something. And you also have a lot who want to work with media production and design. Computer game production is 50%. So they're not just interested in gaming, they are also interested in all these secondary things they can use this for.
In a career in gaming.
In a career in gaming, yeah. But I mean, programming coding doesn't have to be gaming related, but it's definitely. And this is where some of the work for Easy have been nice, because we now have some very good models to use. The one Thomas showed in Rome with all the different things you can work with in esports can really help understand, teach, or enlighten people who want to apply how much work there actually is once you get through this. And this is also something you have had a lot of focus when you work with them, is having out-of-house visits to computer-related. They could be computer gaming companies, educations. We also had was that a different survey or was it the same?
Still 20 answers.
Still 20 answers. It's probably the same. We also asked them afterwards what they liked going here, and again, the community is everybody almost. There's a lot who wants the personal development in relation to computer skills. Another thing I was really interested in was this one: meeting teachers who take your met teachers who takes my interest seriously. That's almost everyone again, which I think you can a bit. Everybody who goes to school wants to be seen, and everyone wants to try to do good. And our student type here are also almost always people who are not very good at going to school. So a simple thing as having this, what you call it, it's a relationship with your teacher that starts out just by having teachers who think they don't need to play games or something themselves, that helps a bit, but just the fact that when they are seen, when they're met by teachers who take them seriously for what they want, they become incredibly happy and they want to stay.
And they want to show up for class.
And they want to show up for class. These classes have been the one with almost the least fravær, absence, yeah. And very few dropouts. We also asked them the toned teachings, like all we did yesterday, talk about all these different ways we can teach. That's only 50% who's actually answering that was important. It's way more important to have a good community and teachers who take them seriously than actually having especially esport related education. Where everything is esport related, or can we just add on esports afterwards, which is currently the model we're using right now, where we have formerly been a lot more integrated than having these extras like team training and tournaments are actually more important than the toned education, the toned teaching. This was another question. How important is it to you and your completion of your education that you're on a line which is focused on your opportunity based on your interest after your school? There's one who looks just like this, but again with the community, but this one showed that going out to places that work with esports or computer gaming afterwards, meeting these types of companies matter a lot, because a lot of them said, "Wow, that's halfway," but there was never nothing. Like they really wanted this extra to show them, what can I do afterwards? And it makes sense, right? If you work with something you really enjoy, if you really like computer games, you want to not only be taught how to use it or something, but the understanding of what can I do next? Is this just a blind alley? And this is also something we perhaps could work with before meeting the students, make an even better effort that you're not taking a blind alley and playing computer games at your education. You're actually opening a whole host of new doors of potential that you might not see. Like many computer companies, many companies in general are not very easy to just walk into and say, "Hello, I want to have a job here." It's always nice when somebody shows them the doorway, how to get in and meet somebody. It's a lot more approachable afterwards. One of the things that makes this interesting for me is also that when you talk about having interest combined with school, that's something we've done for many years in different types, but it's never been esport related. Like if you like sports, you can have a million educations where sports is your focus. And that opens some opportunities, but could close just as many doors, whereas esports actually gives some direct doors to we need IT people in Denmark today. If you go at jobnet.com or .dk, almost half of the job applications there, they are for people who work in IT. So we need that. Not esport related, but this might not be the last note, but it was just we also tried to ask them, how do you know this education exists? And it could be social media advertisement that's free out of 20. We have, if you see the bus go by, you can see our logo in many of these. That's 2 who've seen it there. 7 has seen it by the school's homepage. This is the student counseling, and that's 1.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me. So that's why it's in the end, because apparently I'm useless. Perhaps it will have changed when we've been, but and then counseling at former educations. That's also a work in progress here. The bridge building is something we do. We talk to some who said we should have a lot larger presence in the primary school than we have currently. So we're working on that. I talked to a co-worker in the student counseling, and he said when he took the counselor education, they asked everybody who tells them where they should go to school, who helps them. Do you have an idea? How do you choose? You're a young person. Who do you listen to?
Friends.
Mother.
The mother. Everybody else is useless. It's the mother who gets to say. And well, at least when they're still young, but they never stop listening to their mother. So if we can convince the mothers to perhaps it will have changed when we've been, but and then counseling at former educations. That's also a work in progress here. The bridge building is something we do. We talk to some who said we should have a lot larger presence in the primary school than we have currently. So we're working on that. I talked to a co-worker. That's not, and we could have asked them. Is it your mother?
Your mother.
We tried actually to send a survey out to the parents to see if they had anything to say, because they are, again, at the start we talked about different kinds of what the parents were, or that the parents' interest in this was very important. So it would have been interesting to see what they had to say, but they didn't reply. So we don't have data here.